Greetings, Great Awakening. Journey with me into the unknown with your host, Budon Jazir, or BJ Bay. I'm coming to y'all today because I felt like it needs to be said. You know, not only is this going out to our old young beings, but it's also going out to our young beings that are old. See what I mean by that? Parents or caterers or servants to these young beings that are actually old beings encased in a young, vessel or body that we call children, kids. But we must understand that they're not children and kids. They are old beings, and for the most part are older than our being, our true self. But they do have a childlike mind because they don't know who their true self is. So we have to, keep that into consideration that, they're not our children or our kids. We are catering to these older beings, even though these beings might not know who they are. And they don't. But us as the servants or caretakers, we must instill this in them. I on this journey, I stopped looking at my children or my kids as what that, as we use my kids, my children, my youngstars. I'm looking at them more as these older beings that are wise, even though they make mistakes, or bad decisions. They make, bad decisions and mistakes only because, they don't know who they truly are. And we as these caretakers or servants must instill it. Must instill good decisions. But at the end, but at the end of the day, they have their own mind because they are what? An individual, an old individual. Some are very wise. They may act dumb, but some are very wise. Some know how to manipulate to get what they want, or calculate on the next step or the next, great big mistake. We as parents, we have a great task ahead of us, raising these young stars, these old souls, encasing these young bodies. And I don't fault any parent that, just kind of just lets everything go to the wayside. I don't. Because it all has to do with will, how much strength you have to even endure taking care of another individual or a being and instilling all that you can. And, and at the end of it all, they still got to make their own decisions, good or bad. But we as the servants or caretakers of these beings must always remember that. Remember. Now to the young stars or these old young beings. Y'all must understand what you put us, parents, caretakers, servants through on a day-to-day basis. If you have a good relationship with your caretaker or your servant or your parent, strive to keep that good relationship. Regardless of how mad you are or how difficult it may be to deal with, a being that, probably not even older than your true being. But you must learn how to deal, because see, you are under the care of this elder being that created you, created this vessel for you to even be here. The Father created you from his essence. The mother carried you for 9 months in her womb. That alone, you should always remember. You young beings don't even realize how good you have it. A lot of times, you don't, until you must do it all on your own. And sometimes not even then. You want to, point a finger, put blame on everybody else but yourself. And I understand, especially, for these young beings, especially, as a caretaker, servant, or parent, and you actually putting them on the journey with you. And us as parents, already know how hard this journey is, or how hard it can be, or how easy it can be. But, it's obstacles. There's times you're going to fall off. So, to the parents or the servants, we must also remember that these are young beings, or old beings in a young body that doesn't even have its correct mind yet. That's our job, is to instill as much as we can into these minds of these beings. That's our job. And to keep them out of harm's way, to steer them in the right direction. But we have to, remember that along the way, they're going to fall off. They're going to hit hard times too. Yes, that's your child that you created, or that vessel that you created. But that individual, that being, has been here and done that too. So they're going to fall off. But you pick them back up, dust them off, let's do it again. And put them back on the path. Until they get that, that mind of, when they're 18 and they have their own mind, and they, have their own control of their self. Until then, it's up to us. And even then, even after they're 18, you're still helping them along the way. A lot of times, these young beings, they confide in one another. They're peers. But a lot of times that's not good. Especially when it comes when it comes in between of the parent or the servant or the caretaker and the young being relationship. It's not good. It's unhealthy to be that way. To, go run and talk to other peers, and those other peers might not even be in your best interest, like you think. Regardless of how good you guys click, they are also an individual that might be on the path with you. They can be above you, or they can be below you. And they can knock you off just as fast as anybody else, if not faster. But we, as the caregivers or servants or parents to you all, We're not here to knock you off your path. We are here to keep you on it, steer you in the right direction, regardless if you like it or not. That's our job. We don't get paid for this. Our pay for this is seeing you prosper, seeing you become something, become what you were meant to be and not what you were told to be. A lot of times, you young stars, you confide in one another and you guys are on the same mind. See, us as the parents, we've been there and done that. We have way more experience than any one of your peers could ever have because they're experiencing the same thing you experiencing. So is that really helping you? No, it's not. If anything, it's hindering you. If you can't speak to your parent, the one that really has that knowledge, that one that really has your best interest and that love for you and love to see you grow into that great being that you were meant to be, take heed. Take heed. You guys could never even imagine what you put us through. Can't even imagine, especially when you only dealing with one elder parent. It's even worse than two. When you're dealing with one, you're really working at one, and that one can get so tired and so burnt out that they somewhat give up. And it's not that they want to, it's that they have to. And we have parents got to also remember that we are also an individual. And yes, that's our child. But if our child is constantly pulling us down or dragging us down or knocking us off of our path, then we need to step back some. Literally, step back. Give them space to fuck theyself. And then once they do, we go back and we help them to correct it. But we can't just keep directing. What about yourself? What about who you are? Who you want to become? Yes, it's about them, but it's also about you. It's more so about you as an individual. Us creating these vessels is a blessing. It's we were meant to create. So we create these vessels. But also, these vessels also are a blessing to us as parents because not only are we teaching them, but they teaching us along the way. They teaching us how to cope with dealing with individuals in a whole nother, arena than just dealing with individuals you meet. You're dealing with individuals that you fell in love with because you created that with your significant other. So it's on a whole different, outlook. But it can wear you down. It can burn you out. I've been there many a times. Like I said before, I'm dealing with 6 individuals plus myself on a day-to-day basis. A lot of y'all will never even be able to even come to grips with that. How I'm able to stay on my path. And I get knocked off a lot. I get angered. I do. Because, I just get tired of repeating myself when I know that what I'm saying to them is right and is correct. But they still do what they want to do, which helps me to realize that they are individuals. Even though we look at them as children or kids or young stars, they are old individuals, their true self. that are wise, and like I said, that know how to manipulate, that know how to play games. And a lot of times, you know, when they just on the path, or are you getting them on the path, you know, of righteousness, you know, a lot of things can affect them. The peers they hang around, you know, if you've been flowing through, you know, your journey, and you really doing great, you know, these entities, these demons, they use our young stars as well. They get inside them real quick and puppeteer them and have them, you know, get up on our skin. But we cannot allow for that to really get up on our skin. We have to, you know, that's what I mean by they teaching us as well. I'm learning a lot. I'm learning to cope. I'm learning to deal with these everyday stresses. Got spiders all on me, coming down my face. But yeah, having to deal. Just a year or two ago, man, a lot of things that go on, I would have flashed, I would have flipped, I would have turned into something else a lot of times. Then it got real ugly. Because, you know, being that nice sign, and fire sign, Sagittarius, or Fucus, I could lose it quick. So I really learned to deal with more. Because I'm looking at it differently. I'm not looking at them as just my children. I'm looking at them as individuals, old individuals, possibly even older than my individual. So for that, I'm treating them as such. We must come at each one of our young individuals differently. I am a psych major. A psych major. I have learned to not only read, but also, you know, redirect. Or make them think by things I say. And at the same time, it's making me think of what it is I need to say at that moment of whatever it is that I'm going through with them. Yes, I'm stern. I am. But at the same time, I'm softy. I give in sometimes. But a lot of times, no. I keep my foot down. Because we have to. If you know, we want them to succeed. Regardless of how much they don't like it. You know, I didn't like my mom keeping her foot on me. But now looking back, man, thank you, Mom. Believe that. Thank you. For steering me in the right direction, even if that meant getting a little physical. You know, she won't admit to that, but it's true. She got physical with me. You know, and we don't even look at it like that, especially, you know, our you know, male individuals or individuals in a male body. We don't really understand that until you become, you know, you're grown. You have your man, your male man mind. Then you start to realize it's like, you know, my mom didn't have no choice. You know, she 5'8". I'm almost 6'7". What else was she supposed to do? But keep her foot on the back of my neck. And coming down with that steel hand. Because I was a big man. I was basically a man, even though I was, you know, a teen. I was a man. To her, a towering man, towering over her. And to the individuals that are, you know, little queens and how they work, you know, their father. And you see the development. You see how they young little queens, young little female individuals, and the manipulation, the manipulating things they say or do at a young age. You know, me being a king, a male, you know, I have to learn to open my eyes to that because it's just me. So that's why I have so much, you know, appreciation for what my mom did. She did it on her own, man. With 5 men and one woman. It was 6 of us. But her battles was with, you know, me and my brother, the oldest. Because we were so big. And for me, you know, witnessing that and going through that, it has helped me to be able to do the same. But I tell you, man, I see my daughter, I see my niece. You know, my niece is very manipulative, you know, 15. And she works me. She pushes buttons that, you know, I didn't even think could even be pushed. But she does. And there's times I get frustrated, flustered, ruffled. And I just say, get out my face. You know, because a lot of times, you know, they don't realize, you know, like I said, I'm dealing with 6 individuals, plus myself. So even though my energy is high most of the time, you know, it's times where, you know, it gets knocked down. Even having to deal with that many individuals. And I know the Most High has my best interest. Or I wouldn't even be going through it at this moment. It has made me a better person, a better individual. It has shown me strengths that I didn't even know I had. So I say on to all you parents, caretakers, servants of these old encased in young child bodies. I commend you for not giving up. I commend you for stepping up to the plate and doing all that you have to do to make sure that you steer them in the right direction. I commend you just for dealing with other individuals, plus yourself. Especially you parents and caretakers or servants that are on the path. Whoa, because the path already itself is, you know, grand. But then you add in that and their drama and their passed down traumas from not just you, but your significant other and ancestral traumas, and also the traumas and you know, karma that comes from, you know, their past lives. Plus you got to deal with your own. So that's a lot. It's a lot of weight that you must carry. But the prize or the present of this is seeing them prosper, seeing them blossom into beautiful individuals. That is the prize. Birds singing, rejoicing. Sun feel good. I really wanted to just hit y'all with that today because I felt it was needed, because I've been dealing with a few things. So the best thing to do is what? Talk about it. To help others that might feel, you know, like They're losing it. You're not losing it. Keep going. That's what you was destined to do, is to keep going, not giving in, and just remembering that every great man has made great mistakes. But the greater man is the one that learns from those great mistakes and becomes great. I'm going to leave y'all with that so I can go enjoy the rest of my day. It's beautiful early in the morning. Y'all enjoy. Till next time, peace, love, unity. One.